Hi and welcome to the latest Walk and Talk. I'm John from GPS Training and this is my dear wife Jane. And we're here out for a short walk today with the inReach Mini2. Oh, I forgot to mention Judy. Judy's with us, our cockapoo. She's been on past Walk and Talks, but she's joining us here today as well. So we're a place called Alnham in Northumberland and we're going to do a walk and talk with the Garmin inReach Mini2, which is on that shoulder there. Now, inReach Mini2 is a two-way satellite communicator. We're going to look at the features that also has, but it's the first time that we'll be able to navigate also with a two-way satellite communicator. So what I've done, I've pre-planned a route on our free route planning software, and then I'm going to load it into the inReach Mini2, and we're going to navigate today just solely using the inReach Mini2 to see if we can do it. And yeah, we've never done it before. We're just interested to see exactly what the navigation experience is like. So first of all, what do we need to do? We need to plan our route on our free route planning software. So before we go for our walk, we need to just quickly plan it on the free Ordnance Survey route planning software. So go to our website, which is gpstraining.co.uk, and click on OS banner. So OS on the top menu bar, and it takes you to the free Ordnance Survey route planning software. Just type in the location that you're looking, so we're looking for Alnham. It brings up in the search box Alnham, which is the point of where we're going to go walking today. So before I do anything, I normally have a quick overview and just work out exactly where you're going before you start planning that route. So we're actually going to head up to what's called the Shepherds Cairn, which is here. We're going to head up on the Salters Road, cut across here, and then we're literally going to come back down this minor road. So all we do is click on the map every time there's a major corner. We start creating that route. And then when we're finished, all we need to do is just rename it. So we're going to just rename it here, Shepherds Cairn. And then down at the bottom, we have the download GPX. At the bottom, just download GPX. There's 37 waypoints, and that just takes it to the download section on your computer. So then on your computer, whether it's a Mac or PC, it's very, very similar. We just need to go to the Find Your Finder, go to your download section, and then you'll find the Shepherds Cairn download GPX file. Just right click and copy that. And then we just need to find your Garmin GPS or the Garmin inReach Mini, which is there. We're looking for the folder that's called Garmin. And within that, we're looking for the folder that says New Files. And what we do, we just paste that within that folder, and the GPX file will get converted to a .fit file when we unplug it, and then we'll be able to see it on the Garmin inReach Mini2. So the navigation experience on the Garmin inReach Mini2 is very similar than what we get on any watch. So use of a Phoenix watch or an Instinct watch is exactly the same. So because we're navigating a course rather than a route or a track we have a handheld unit, we actually get the off-course notification. So when we go off course, we get an audible beep on the unit, and it vibrates as well. So we've got this directional arrow, 3.9 miles to the end of the walk, and then this one is showing us how far we're off course. So you can see the electronic compass, when I rotate it around, it's saying that's the direction we should be going walking in, which is directly towards the camera. If I turn it round for 180 degrees, you can see then it goes out, doesn't it? So you can see that that's the direction that we need to be walking in. So that's quite a nice one that we've just been walking with initially. And then of course we've got our grid reference. Key thing with the inReach Mini2 is that we get a grid reference. So British users in the past with the inReach Mini 1, which is now has become known as, we could only get a lat and long, but now we can change the grid reference to give us a BNG, British National Grid, NT being the sheet number, and then a 10-figure grid reference. Also gives our elevation above sea level as well. And then that's the map. So this is the track that we've been walking up. Then you can see us going off now in that direction, and then the course name is at the top. And it's as straightforward as that, isn't it? Really nice and easy, great navigation experience. It's got that electronic compassing. It's accurate actually. It works off both the American and the European stats, so the GPSs and the Galileo, and electronic compass in there as well, which gives you accuracy at small movements. Very different than what we see on an eTrex 10. eTrex 10 or something along those lines doesn't have that electronic compassing, so we need to be moving to work out the direction we need to be going walking in. So really nice and easy to do. So we'll just head on our way, and as we always do, we'll just follow that arrow. So we're really getting into the heart now of the Cheviot. We can see the highest peak in Northumberland behind us, which is the Cheviot, which is a flat topped mountain. Do you know what the next one is, Jane, to the right hand side?
So that one there is Hedghope.
Well done, fantastic. So Hedghope is the second highest peak. When we look at them, often you think Hedghope is higher than the Cheviot because it's more rounded on the top. But the Cheviot is a flat summit that we can see in the distance, which is the highest point in Northumberland. It's right in the heart of the Cheviot. If people know the Pennine Way, just away to our left, we go along the ridge of the Cheviot is where the Pennine Way skirts just before it starts dropping down into Yetham, called Kirk Yetham, which is the end of the Pennine Way. So we're right in the heart of the Cheviot Hills. It's a lovely walk this. We've started off in the Coker Valley. We're going to come up with Simonside and the Simonside Hills behind us. And now we're right again into the heart of the Cheviot. We're actually just going to bear off to our left as we go and look for the Shepherds Cairn, but it's a grand viewpoint, and yeah, it's very well received by all of us.
It is. It's a fabulous spot. I've been pestering John as we've walked up because we've sort of skirted around and said, well, what's that and what's that? And he's going, just wait. And he's right, because as we've come around, said, oh, that's why he's told me to wait. You just, all of a sudden you come into this beautiful shot here, so it's well worth it.
Brilliant. Right, let's push on then. So the key thing is, and what it's really made for, is two-way satellite communications. And so we can send and receive messages when we're off-grid via the Iridium satellite system. There's two ways of sending messages. There's what's called preset messages, or you can physically type a message. That has you some shortcut messages as well. Presets, and within any bundle you get unlimited presets. Then you set these up online, and then you just sync it via the Explore app. So I'm just going to show you what we can do here. So we have send messages, which is messages we'll type ourselves. We'll have the presets there. So the presets, you can literally just go in. You see preset 1, everything's okay. This is where I am. Again, these are what we've set up. Preset 2, things are not great, but okay. Preset 3, I could do with some help, please. So I'm just going to send preset 1. I literally just select it. It goes off to recipients that we can set up online. And then there it is. It's now sending that message via the satellites. You see we get a little upward arrow, and then when it's sent, we'll get a beep. Okay, so we've got the little beep that tells us that the message has been sent, and that's a preset, straightforward as that. Now to send a message, we can just press send message. We select the contact, so I'm going to send it to myself. It's a bit irrelevant really. Next, we can either type the message, or we've got the quick messages. Again, these set these up line, so you can see all these are back at the campsite now, should all be okay. I can't reply now, I'll write later. Just checking everything is okay. So you can send one of these presets, starting off now, all good. Okay. And you can just send one of those. Again, the same, we get arrows as being sent, and then we get that audible beep. Okay, so that took us about, 8 seconds to send. And I'm actually just going to beep on my watch, which tells me the message has just received onto my watch and also onto my smartphone. That's a quick overview really of how we can send and receive messages. Again, we can physically type them and type them, but it's quite a long-winded process. We're better to send them if we're going to type them via the Explore app, where we get our keyboard on the mobile phone. So here we are, we're just approaching the memorial now. It's a great tribute, and they got so near home. The farm is literally just over the far side of the hillside, so another hour, 3/4 of an hour, and they would have made it home. So here we are at the location where Jock, Scott and Willie Middlemass lost their lives sadly on their way home from Rothby Moor. So Rothby's right in the distance. If you kind of know the area, know the Simonside Hills, which is where I've done a lot of walk and talks in the past, in the bottom valley just below it is Rothby Mart, or Rothby Livestock Mart. And the two gentlemen had been selling sheep that day, coming back across the hillside, a long walk home. They got lost and perished in the snowstorm in 1962, so 17th of November 1962. They were found the following day by another shepherd. The wife of one of the shepherds met another of the shepherd the following morning, says they've not come home. What's going on? He hunted and found the two bodies here. It's actually at this time they got RAF Boomer came and did search and rescue, and the local shepherds did search and rescue. And after this poignant find of the two shepherds is when Northumberland National Park Mountain Rescue Team was set up, and it continues on to this day. And we're quite proud here at Shepherds Walks and GPS Training. I can speak for myself and Jane. We've raised quite a lot of money for the Mountain Rescue Team. A lot of the events you see myself do and my colleague Andy does from GPS Training, we do raise money for our local Mountain Rescue Team. But this is where it all began, at this poignant point back in 1962. A slight change of plan. We were just down there at the Memorial Cairn, and we looked up there to Hogdon Law, and went, actually, why don't we just go up to Hogdon Law? It's only 2:30, well, it was 2:30 when we were down there, and we'll get some nice views from the top of there. So that's exactly what we're doing. So we're climbing up Hogdon Law, and we've got Hushie Cairn, which is a very pretty little cairn here as we climb up, and we're just going to climb up to the top. And my thought was that when we get to the top, we could potentially do a backtrack, or let's get the inReach Mini and let's take us back the way we've come and see what experience that gives us there. We look out, we can see the Northumberland coast with the wind farms, or the wind turbines rather. Again, Simonside Hills in this direction, and then you can actually just see it. We can just see it. There's a white, what we call golf ball, just above Alnham there on Alnham Moor. So really quite a nice view, kind of on the edge of the Cheviot. My dear wife's gone marching off, you know, because I've stopped through the filming. So if she reaches the top before me, I won't be happy. So get my head down, catch her up, and I'll catch up with you at the summit. So here we are, the summit of Hogdon Law. Bit of a diversion, but well worth it. Oh, she nearly beat me. I'll get to the summit first. Oh, what a view. This is Weather Cairn just here. We did that one earlier in the year. It's a lovely one. It's the Kidland Forest. It's the left of it. Quite a few walking talks. We often stay in the Kidland Forest. Kidland Lee we stay at. So we do a lot of walks that come out and go into. I've never been here before. I've also looked and thought how stunning this looks, because it sticks out. It's not the highest, but because it's right on the edge, you get a real sense of height, don't you? So
Oh, it's amazing.
this looks lovely. Great views.
60 views, isn't it? Well worth it. Yeah.
So now we're at the summit. What we're going to do is do a track back, or back to start as they call it. So let's go into that main menu, and they come down to navigate, which is know how we start at the start. Just navigate, waypoints. You get an option now of Trackback. Press Trackback. So it's saying Trackback cannot be started while navigation is on. Fair enough, because we're actually navigating So it's going to stop navigating. So after navigating that course, never stop navigating the course. So I'm going to stop navigating the course. It says Trackback now is letting me do it. Loading the courses, and I can do the Trackback back to the start. So 3.86 miles. We're not going to go all the way back to start. We're going to go back to that road, and then we'll follow that road down. So we're doing 4 miles so far. So let's go back, and then let's press go. Okay, so now we've got our navigational pages. It's showing which way we go, and it's taking us back 3.9 miles to the start. So we're going to track back. So it wouldn't let me do it initially because we still had that course in place, which is what we're navigating from the start. So it got me to stop navigating that course, and then I could load that track back and do a track back. Now we'll do a track back to the road, and then we'll reload that course, and that will navigate us back to the start. The great thing about doing a track back, it takes you back exactly where you've come. Every few seconds when we've been walking, the inReach Mini 2 has been creating what's called a breadcrumb trail. It's been saying, I'm here, I'm here, I'm here. And now what we're saying to it is take us back the way you've come. It's actually a far more accurate navigation experience than we have following that course on the way out, because that was me creating it on the Ordnance Survey map. And there's actually some anomalies sometimes on the Ordnance Survey maps. Our paths exactly where they are on the ground, often they're not. But the great thing about a track back is because we've actually walked this, we could go back exactly the same route. Think for how this could be used. You know, there's been an accident or something like this. You might go down to the valley bottom, call for help. Now if it's dark in the pass, what else are you going to do? You're going to navigate back in the dark. Might not be quite as easy as you think. But if you've got this facility on any GPS unit, whether it's the inReach Mini or any other outdoor GPS unit, you could then go back to your casualty because you know it's going to take exactly where you went when you came down the mountain in the daylight earlier on in the day. So really nice feature, and we're just trying it now, I say for the first time, really just because we've been this wonderful hill behind, and then we're heading back down to that road, and we're going to follow it back down to the village. As I do that, I'll give you some of my final thoughts on what I'm thinking of the inReach Mini 2. I've certainly learnt a lot about it, and yeah, we've discussed it at length, and I'll give you my thoughts in a few moments' time. So we're on our finally sent back to the start and finish of the walk. So I thought I'd give you a quick summary of my thoughts on the Garmin inReach Mini 2. What are our thoughts? There you are, that's a good question. I'll tell you what we've really noticed. We've been so used to walking with a GPS unit with a map on. We've really missed that map on the GPS unit. We've really missed seeing what's around us. Don't get me wrong, we've got our paper map with us, or alternatively, we could have printed off the map that when we planned it on the free route planning software. We shouldn't really do that, but you could have done a screenshot of it and printed that off as well. But we've really missed that. We're so used to a handheld unit where we would have a look at the map and say, oh, what's that mountain called? What's this called? How high?
I think that really came to like when we decided to go like add on that extra bit and go and do like a cairn that we could see in the distance, and we had to stop there and sort of rethink, right, how are we going to do this? And that's when it really became a feature that we really missed.
Yeah, we had to keep getting the map out and looking at the map. And there's nothing wrong with that. And a lot of people say, yeah, brilliant. So working in conjunction with the Ordnance Survey map for your navigation experience. Yeah, but then you've also got to take on board the old inReach Mini did not have any navigation experience. It was a two-way satellite communicator. So it has got a lot of added features on it compared to the previous models. So if you're going to use it as a navigational tool, you really need an Ordnance Survey map to work alongside that, because actually you kind of need to see what's around you.
And that's also a personal preference of ours, because we're comparing it to something, we've used GPSs as well, so we're comparing it to a completely different model and something different that we've used before, isn't it? We need to remember that.
I also love the course. I love the interface. It very much reminds me of an Instinct watch or a Phoenix watch. I know it's not colour, so there might be people saying that's nothing like a Phoenix, but more like an Instinct watch. I love that navigation experience. I think that's kind of sometimes a little bit better than what we find with the handheld units. It's a little bit more sophisticated. It's really a lot smarter. I say I really like when I tried to do my backtrack, it told me I was already navigating a course. So it's a little bit smarter than what we find sometimes on the handheld units. And again, it's more like a watch interface rather than a handheld interface, but it is quite small. So yeah, you can say, well, it's not much bigger than a watch anyway. But I really like it. Would I have it rather than a 66i? I think I would have wanted to go totally lightweight. I was thinking a lot about this for like people doing ultra events and things, which are usually well marked and want something just more of as a backup just in case, but they also want these two-way satellite communicators like fell runners, mountain bikers, this kind of thing. Absolutely ideal for that, because you don't want to be climbing a big GPS map 66i around with you or something along those lines. So I think it would really suit those people. So we're just about to head into the village. When I get there, I'm going to quickly show you how we stop navigating the course and also how we save that track, which is a record of our trip on our slightly longer walk, Jane.
Well, it was worth it.
It was worth it for a few summit shots with me. So I'll catch up with you in a few moments' time when we hit the village, and I'll show you how we close everything down at the end of a day's walking. And to save that track, which is a record of our trip, we just need to go back to our main menu, which has all the information, and we're going to go down to tracking. So it's 7.84 miles. So press OK on that, and we'll see all the track information. 7.84 miles, been going for 4 hours and 29 minutes. We press this top right hand button, and we have an option to stop tracking. Okay, let's come down to save, and that just saves that track, which is already. So at the end, we just stop navigating that course, and then we've just saved that track. So many thanks for joining Jane and myself on the latest walk and talk with the Garmin inReach Mini 2. If we can help in any way at GPS training, please do get in touch. If there's anything you would like us to do in future walk and talks, please just leave a comment in the comment box below. And you've enjoyed it, Jane?
Very much, yeah, very much.
Even the bit of a diversion to back to the summit.
I love that, yeah,
so,
it's good.
Hope you find it useful. I say, if you have any views or comments, just leave them in the comment box below. And whatever you do, enjoy your walking.